Hello everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to part 2 of my fall reading recommendations. So today I'm going to be going through my classic books that I really recommend to you guys reading around this time of year. And just like in my previous fall reading recommendations video, if you haven't watched that yet, go watch that one first and then come to this one, because they kind of go together in a little bit of a way. I split up my books into a little bit of like more subgenres if you're looking for something a little bit more specific. So let's start with my biggest pile. And that is my gothic, atmospheric, kind of spooky-ish reads. So first and foremost, I had to mention this because it is the quintessential spooky book, because it's everywhere. This and another one are everywhere in popular culture, and that is Dracula by Bram Stoker. This book just has all the fall vibes. It has vampires in it, has vampire hunters, it is all that kind of jazziness. And just like my other reading recommendation video, I'm going to do 3 to 4 words that describe this book instead of actually describing the book to you, just to keep it a little bit interesting. So this one I'm going to do Found Family, The Unknown, Quest, and well, I have to include it, vampires, obviously! So that is Bram Stoker's Dracula. I really, really recommend this book. And of course, if I'm going to mention Dracula, I have to mention this one too, and that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This, as a side note, actually really fits this prompt because Shelley wrote this on a spooky evening when her and her writer friends were like, hey, who could come up with the scariest story? She did! She won that and she got it published. Anyways, so if you don't know the story of Frankenstein, where have you been? It's been around forever. Also, Frankenstein is the doctor guy, not the monster. Just wanted to clarify that across the world. Please don't call the monster Frankenstein. If you're gonna do that, at least tack on Frankenstein's monster to make it right. Anyways, so these 4 words are going to be frame narrative, playing at God, atmospheric, and monsters. Those will be the 4. Definitely pick this up. I think it is a good spooky read for this time of year for sure. So the next one is my all-time favorite classic, and it fits in this time of year so perfectly, and that is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This book is just perfect for fall. And its forward summary is gothic, forbidden love, kind of, a Bildungsroman a little bit, and another word I'm going to use is specters. Just cause. This book is just my favorite. It is my favorite classic because it has all the elements of a classic that I really like. It has the elements of like Pride and Prejudice where you have a romance brewing, and it has the spookier elements, the kind of a little bit more fantastical elements in it of a gothic, which I just adore. Yes. And following on this very fitting train, we have Charlotte Bronte's sister, Anne Bronte, with Wuthering Heights. Actually, I'll just put the dust jacket on it so you can actually see it. Okay, Wuthering Heights, because this is the most dramatic gothic book I have ever read. Its 4 words are going to be ghosts. I've used gothic so many times, but I want to use it for this one again. What's another word I can use for gothic? Hey Siri. What's another word for gothic?
Synonyms of gothic are black letter and gothic architecture.
Well, that doesn't help me whatsoever. Oh, gothic's the only word I can find in my head for this because it's just so depressing and spooky, and well, I guess atmospheric works for this too, but I've used those 2 words so often in this video. Well, I guess, okay, we'll use drama and sadness, because there's a lot of sadness in here, but it's a really good spooky read for this time of year, for sure. Now, bridging that one, the gothic-y spookiness, and moving into the next genre that I'm going to talk about, which is kind of mystery genre, I have Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This book fits both of those genres perfectly because it has like really spooky elements and it has a mystery element too for some reason, but it doesn't really fit the gothic because it's not a gothic novel. So this 4 words are going to be deal with the devil, painting, murder, and youth. Those are going to be my words for this book because I also really adore this book. The story is so fun and cool and just has a life to it that I never expected to find in a classic novel when I first read this, so I really recommend you pick it up. And it really, really works for fall, for sure. Moving straight along into the full kind of more mysterious mystery vibes that I think would be perfect for fall, we have The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I know he's also written Woman in White, which also fits for this, but I haven't read Woman in White, so I'm not going to recommend it because I haven't read it. But this book is, I think, just wonderful for fall. So we have, for our forward summer, we have A Manor House. We have Missing Diamond. Is it a diamond? Yes, it's a diamond. Shifting Sands, and Detective. Definitely pick this one up. I adored this book so much when I read it. And even though it's hailed as the first detective novel, I think it still holds a pretty good amount of twists that I didn't see coming. So, it's great. Now, the next book I'm going to recommend to you guys kind of comes in a trio or even more because her books all fall in the mystery gene, and the one book that I read from her I don't actually own, but I listened to it on audiobook and it was incredible and perfect for this fall time. So I went onto my shelf and picked up some of the Agatha Christie novels I could find, and the ones that I picked were The Hollow, Halloween Party, obviously for fall, and then The Murder on the Orient Express. And then the one that I listened to on audiobook was And Then There Were None. I have been wanting to read this story for so long, and I finally did, and it was so good. It was so good. It was just, I didn't know who did it, and So for the forward summary, I'm going to talk specifically about And Then There Were None, because I haven't read these, so I can't tell you about these. But this one, my forward summary is going to be trapped, unknown, fear, and 10 little soldier boys. It's so good. Also, Dan Stephen narrates this book. It's amazing. He does so well. Dan Stevens, by the way, is the guy who played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. He's amazing. Anyways, but yes, these are also good choices. I've heard amazing things about The Murder on the Orient Express. It's going to be my next one that I'm going to read. And then, of course, Halloween Party. How can I not include that? It literally says Halloween Party and it has a pumpkin on the front. I don't know. I love Agatha Christie's mysteries because they're short and they just wrap you up and speech you out at the end and you're like, whoa! How? It's great. I love her writing. It's just fantastic. Moving swiftly along into a less spooky vein and more into a spoopy kind of vein, we have Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I've talked about this book a few times on my channel, so if you want to go dig, they're all in my classic shelf videos. Definitely do. So this book, my 4 words are going to be spoopy, for sure, gothic, haunted ruins, and satire, because it is kind of a satire. So this is a definite good read if you want something quick and really fast, really self-aware, and actually quite funny. And it has all of the gothic elements without being scary, which is the best for me. And the second to last book I'm going to talk about, because I have to talk about this book in every classics video that I do, and that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This just has all of the fall vibes to me, because it has like, not only because it's set over like winter, but like it just, I don't know, I think it might just be because it's a classic novel that I think it has fall vibes to it, but it's just wonderful and good for any time of the year, so I'm going to throw it in here. And its 4 words are going to be family, prejudice. I know that's kind of a cheat, but it's fine. Family, prejudice, English countryside, and love, because why not? And the very last book I'm going to talk about today is one that I adore, and I think it counts as a classic novel because it is just from an older vein and because everybody knows it, and that is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. Now, there's some so perfect about fall with these books I just adore, and especially this one because this is Anne as a kid and you just have all the fall vibes in it. I just love it. There's literally a line that says you can't get enough of Octobers or something. It's amazing. So my 4 words are going to be PEI, Prince Edward Island, school, October, and comfort, because that's what it gives me. So this, highly recommend if you haven't already picked it up. You can also watch the show, the new show, Anne with an E, and that also gives you like extreme fall vibes. This is also Canadian, so yay! Anyways guys, that brings us to the very end of my fall reading recommendations. I really hope you enjoyed watching both this part and part 1. Again, if you haven't watched part 1, go over there and watch it first. Or go over there and watch it now that you've finished watching this one. And let me know down below if you have any fall reading recommendations, classic or otherwise, because I'm always on the hunt for more to read and add to my list, because apparently my TBR cannot be shrunk down. Anyways guys, make sure to like this video and subscribe down below, and if you're feeling like it, hit that little bell icon so you're notified when I upload. And I will catch you in another video soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.